but we can make a start now. So we have our next speaker, Neelanshi. She is a director at Visa, and she's also certified Agile Coach, Safe for Agilists, CSM. She's a seasonal professional with outstanding track record of executing enterprise-wide performance by driving initiatives that help increase agile and product mindset and embedding of agile and product practices. So with this, we will start the session now. The topic for this session is customer obsession canvas. Neelanshi, can I share the screen or you are comfortable to share the PPT? Satish, fear.
Looks like Neelanshi got dropped off. Just a minute, we are checking.
She is not there.
I think she joined back. Neelanshi, can you hear us?
Neelanshi, you're on mute. Can you unmute? I think again she is dropped.
Neelanshi, you should be able to unmute now.
Okay, she.
Can you guys hear me well?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Cool, that's good. Good to know.
Neelanshi, if you want, I can share the screen. The PPT.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, just give me a second. I'm sharing for you. Let me know if it's visible to all.
I can see it.
Yeah, make it full screen. Yep, I think we are set, Neelanshi. Thank you.
Cool. Hello, everybody. I'm Neelanshi, director at Visa and an Agilist by passion, who have lived more than a decade in helping numerous organizations on their transformation journey. To name a few of them, it's Goldman Sachs, Ensure Corporation, DXC Technologies, United Health Group, and currently I'm helping Visa on their transformation journey. I have trained and coached more than 15,000 people on agile and product practices. And in today's session, we would be going through the customer obsession canvas. So next slide, please. So according to Bloomberg, 8 out of 10 entrepreneurs who start businesses fail within the first 18 months. And I would like you guys to guess the #1 reason behind it. You guys can unmute yourself if that's possible, or just respond on the chat. What is one of the reasons that entrepreneurs fail in the initial first 18 months itself?
They might have not done their groundwork before they get started. Understanding what customer base or what product or what problem they're trying to solve.
Very close to that. Good one. Anyone else would like to try it out?
They might not be having the runway to continue.
I think that's also good. Let's go to the next slide and understand the #1 reason behind it. Next slide, please. Yes, the #1 reason is not really in touch with customers through the deep dialogue. When I say deep dialogue, what is that? And how do we think, the organizations are trying to solve this problem? We can take a look at one of the most customer obsessed organization, which is Amazon, right? To understand how do they solve the problem. So Amazon shows that customer obsession starts from the top down. If you hear Jeff Bezos, he credits much of Amazon's success to 4 core key values. And the first one is customer obsession. The first and by far the most important one is customer obsession as opposed to competitor obsession. Because in the market, in these days, we have been seeing a lot of people just copying things that everybody else is developing. And similarly, I think even if you talk about the profession, that's what is happening, in that case also. If you see someone, growing, you want to be in that mode. You want to just try that role out, try that designation out without understanding the real base. What is the need there, right? So customer obsession is not a responsibility that falls on a customer service or on a single team. It's actually the entire organization, which is responsible for this. Every department needs to be customer obsessed, and that's the ripple effect you would see, from top to down. Now, when I was talking about Amazon, right, how are they solving this problem? They call it as working backward process. And how do they start with it, right? They never start with creating a product. They start with a mock press release, which involves first defining the customer experience you want to enable, right? And then working backwards from there to find out who is your customer, right? And how are you defining their problem statement? The customer-centric approach ensures that, it focuses on its effort on developing solutions that truly meet the customer needs. They start, working backwards to defining the customer by doing the press release, and then, they go with PRFAQs. The goal here is only being customer-centric when you're starting with it. And the motivation of drafting a mock press release is to focus on the customer, the problem, and why existing solutions fail. And if at all you are trying to build, a solution which is already existing in the market, what is the difference that you are going to create, right? And they keep on iterating on these documents, which is somewhere against Agile, but I would not say against, because they are also trying to understand the real problem there, right? And then this mock press release, which is basically taken as the product has been delivered now. What is our product going to look like? What's the customer journey going to look like? And then the press release should pass the Oprah speak test, right? Imagine listening to Oprah trying to explain to her audience, while it appears that you're doing a press release, a real press release, but it's actually the customer discovery behind it, right? And this session is mainly focused on what could be the advantages, what could be the disadvantages, what could be the risk, and what is the market research that has been done. So I'll be taking over all those questions in my later slides. But for now, what happens after the press release? Once you showcase something which has been already in market, is that's how you're showing it to your product. You haven't started building that product, but you're doing the press release to say that, that this is how it has been developed and this is how we are marketing it, right? And then the FAQ is the outcome of all the questions and answers which comes during that review section. So that, when you're trying to create your product, what could be the questions around it, what are our frequent asked questions, and how do we want to answer it? So basically a end-to-end kind of a document. Now, customer centricity is why, Amazon's PRFAQ wins, because it's a business strategy that you are trying to develop and making sure that, you're also doing a good level of customer engagement. At Amazon, it's built into their culture through their mission statement and company values. And I think all of us have been listening to these sessions from, since the evening about product management, what is product discovery, right? How we can be customer centric, how can we define the problems, right? And how are we solving those problems? But the real trouble in IT world is that when it comes to understanding the problem, we only spend 10% time on it, and we spend 90% of the time in basically creating that solution house. However, it should be vice versa, right? We should ideally be spending 90% of the time understanding the problem. And that is why one of the greatest quote that I have been using in all my sessions is, startup founders or people who are trying to create a product must walk 10,000 kilometers in the shoes of their customer, not just 10, 100,000, 10,000 steps. When I say 10,000 steps, that means literally understanding, what is the difference between the customer need and want, right? I think all of us have been kind of understanding or going through the concept of design thinking. But when it comes to the difference between need versus want, have we ever thought about it, what it is? So here is a question again to all of you. I don't know if you are a chai or a coffee person, tea or a coffee person in the morning, but do let me know, what is the need of having a coffee or a tea in the morning? You guys can unmute yourself. Okay, relief, cool. Mouth refreshment, okay. Think about it, whether it's a need, right? What is the need? Relief is, of course, a need, right? Mouth refreshment, yeah, could be a need. What else? To me, it's just, be awake in the morning. If I take a cup of tea, I know I'll have that energy to go to the next, to-do list and start working on it. But at the same time, yeah, of course, energy booster, good. So, but what is my want there? I am not a tea person, but I love to have a creamy coffee, right? So when I say I want to have a creamy coffee, I also want with some flavor on it, right? So I want to make sure it's not as strong as you get it at Starbucks, but it is, it is not as light as, it cannot even, it cannot really cater to my needs. So I like creamy coffee with milk, but your needs and your wants could be different, right? So we have, when I was looking at the answers, we have different answers on the need. So that means we are able to understand our needs, but our wants could be very, very different. So when it comes to, going to the customer's shoe, we have to start understanding. And that is why, I always say we should marry these concepts of agile and product management, because Agile talks about MVP. And similarly, if you talk about product management, we talk about customer needs, right? And that is how we create, based on the need, we create MVP, right? What is minimum viable product? That's not on the wants. We do not want to create something on the wants. Nowadays, there's another term, that I was listening in one of the training that I attended recently, which was minimum lovable product, right? How do you make something lovable? How do you really make sure that people just fall in love with your product? They just want to keep, seeing your product somehow. So those are the things that we should be kind of focusing on when it comes to understanding the customer. Now, obtaining a better understanding of a customer, is an essential step towards creating a product. The more you know about your customers, the better you will understand their journey. And it's not only, during the transaction, but during and after the sale, right? So I think some of the organizations have started looking at the customer journey, which was not the case, before COVID, like 3-4 years back. Nowadays, they look at all the personas, right? What kind of users that we have? What is their journey, right? Once we understand what the customer journey is, from where do they start and where do they end, right? As simple as, the way, I'm not sure how many of you have looked at the video of how McD came up with their fastest ways of delivering a burger. I can probably play that if I have an option to share.
Yeah, you have. I can stop sharing the screen. You can share the screen now.
Cool. Let me know once you guys can see my screen.
Yeah, we can see now.
Yes, you can.
For some reason, this thing is not coming. Here it is. Let me know if you can also. Are you guys able to hear? Can you hear the sound?
No.
Neelanshi, when you're sharing the screen, have you checked that box? Share.
On the
Can
left
you
hand
hear?
side, at the left hand side at the bottom, you will see your option includes sound. When you share, please reshare it. All right, stop sharing your screen and reshare it. Select that option, should work.
Share the sound. Okay, cool. Can you guys see it now? And let me know if you can also hear.
All my years in the food service industry, and I've seen it all.
We can hear now.
I want to hear your story.
Perfect. Cool.
Here you are. How the heck did you come up with this?
Oh, I did. We did. Dick McDonald, my brother.
Hi. Boy, I gotta tell you, this is the most... That's nice to meet you. The McDonald's brothers, what those two boys created, changed everything. This changed everything.
Care for a little tour? Speed. That's the name of the game. The first stop for every McDonald's hamburger is the grill, manned by two cooks whose sole job it is to grill those all-beef beauties to perfection. Meanwhile, as the patty cooks, our dressers get the buns ready. Watch out. Burger crossing.
Mac and Dick McDonald stumbled onto a new system to fix the ills of the drive-in business, essentially, which is what they were in when they started.
They're sort of the Henry Ford of fast food. So they developed this choreographed way that food could be made in 30 seconds rather than 30 minutes.
We wanted something different, and that's when my brother here comes up with one of his brilliant ideas. Tell him, Dick.
Orders ready in 30 seconds, not 30 minutes.
And you were gonna love how we did it, Dick. You gotta tell him.
Tennis court?
Okay, he brings me out to this tennis court, and he's drawn this line, the exact dimensions of our kitchen.
Sink on the right, extruder on the left. Okay.
And Dick is running around with this stick, marking where all the equipment should be.
Tuck in. Tony, are you gonna skip the pickles when we're really doing it? Yes. No. No. Catch up! Use your lazy Susan. And pickles and pickle and mustard!
The Speed D system is born,
And it's off to the races.
and we are an overnight sensation 30 years in the making.
I hope you guys were able to listen to it. If not, McD was taking 30 minutes to deliver a burger, and they wanted to understand how we could do it in 30 seconds. And that's a clip from the Founders story, the Founders movie. So the message behind it was the real work, happens at the ground level, right? When we say ground level, they went to the tennis court and they designed the kitchen there to find out, what are the problems, where are the blockers, and what is the real need there, right? They wanted to have some parallel things, and they wanted to make sure that, we are not blocking each other during, all the steps that we have on the customer journey. So it was very important for them to understand the customer journey and then, they did multiple sessions on, multiple iterations of understanding the journey. And then they were able to make it in 30 seconds, right? Now, I think most of us, love to see when we are at the counter of the MACD to, how do they really deliver that fast? And I think similar things we should also be learning from the organizations that have been doing great. That's why I just took an example of Amazon, right? So understanding how customers move in and out of the relationship and why and how they buy. And this, if you know such stuff about the customer, this will help you deliver better services and products to the right people in the right place, in the right manner, at the right time, which is the key to success. And continuously generating, customer insight is most effective way to recognize the opportunities for the growth. And when it comes to, seeing the trends, I usually don't say that, you just go ahead and get the industry trends. What I recommend people is going and talking to their customers at their place, at their workplace where they're using, that product. And if you're not able, if you don't have a product yet, try to sit with the people who have real problem statement. What is that real trouble that they have? Next slide, please. Yeah, so this was about really going an extra step, right? Going 10,000 kilometers to a customer behavior, customer's insight, empathizing with the customer, all the steps of design thinking, right? You actually, why do you want to do that? Because we want to make sure that our customers love our designs. Next slide, please. So this is where, Amazon uses their questionnaire to create that mock press release when they start with the customer discovery. Who is the customer is the first question. And I can tell you based on the experience that I've had, transforming the organizations, a lot of the leaders, when they were trying to create a product, they did not have the categorization of the users. They did not know who are they targeting. For an example, us being coaches, right? How do we know who are our customers, right? It could be as simple as startup founders who are looking to, generate something. It could be any organization who are doing good at, at this time, but they want to upgrade themselves to be catering to the demand of the market. Or it could be executives, right, who are looking to improve themselves and be a true leader, right? So when it comes to who is the customer, go through that during your product discovery very well, and then define those personas. And then understand the second question is, what is the problem you are trying to solve? As I was talking to someone yesterday, they brought up a very good problem statement. It was like, women in India are not safe in the night. It was a very crisp and clear problem. And then they were trying to find out a product for it, what it could be. And we had a really good discussion. It was very crisp and clear thought process behind, how we could create a product. So those are the discussions which should happen, right? Like when women are not safe in India, how we can really let other people help them out. So, the idea which came up was, why don't we, just create a trigger which could be used by any phone, by any kind of, people. And then, as soon as you are in trouble, you just touch your phone somehow and people get a notification around you. And once they get that notification, whether those are volunteers or security guards of the societies or anybody who would like to help others can come out and give them the support, right? But I mean, you should understand your problem statement so well that your solution should be to that problem statement, not your own created problem statement, right? It should be customer's problem. And then the next thing comes is, how are you going to solve that problem? When it comes to solving that problem, have you really understood, what the customer journey is, right? From where they start to where they end. As simple as when you go to a coffee shop, what's the process? You go to a coffee shop, you order your coffee, right? And they take out a bill, but then either you sit at the table to wait for your coffee, or you stand at the counter to take your coffee. But there are multiple steps in between that these guys do, right? And that's the journey that they have. For a customer, for me, it's as simple as going to the counter and then getting my coffee. That's the end result. But there's a journey in between. That's what we have to understand very clearly. And what is the experience that I am getting as a customer, right? Where are they talking to me? What is the kind of interactions that we're having with the customer? And then, the next one is, how do you know what customers need? Have you done enough research around it? Have you done enough market research? Do you know if there are all the products which are available in the market have already solved that problem somehow? Or do you know that this is the problem that no one has ever solved? And that is where you need very good set of, product research analyst or a good, product research team, because that's how they look at the statistics of the market and find out why, if at all there was a product developed, what was their pricing? What was the issue that people were not able to use it? Was there a marketing issue? Was there a problem at, this problem with the solution? If at all you find that there's a problem with the solution, then I think it's a better step to go ahead and create another solution for it. But if at all, if someone has already solved that problem, what is the difference that your product is going to create? And if at all you're able to articulate that difference well, benefits well and good, then talk about your pricing. If you cannot really, compete with the pricing, give them the extra offering, service offering, like, a lot of organizations these days do with their tools, right? With their softwares, is giving them maintenance for a year free, right? So all of those things are really important for us to deliver a good product. So when I say a good product, I think everybody has got their own definition. Not everybody likes everything, right? So companies that master customer obsession focus on the things they can do every day to consistently provide great experience. But I also would like to touch on why is customer obsession important? You shouldn't be thinking that it's just a little pie in the sky. If you talk about the customer obsession, it's a focus on all the aspects of customer experience, right down to each customer interaction. So talk about customer retention, right? Customer loyalty is everything if you already have a product in the market. According to the research, into the customer lifetime value, 54% of the respondents said that they have purchased more product from a company based on the first interaction that they had, first positive interactions that they had. Similarly, another data that I have is 58% said that they stopped doing the business with the company after a single negative interaction. And 46% of those who said that they stopped doing the business with that company is up to 2 years. They never came back for 2 years. So what is your customer retention strategy? How are you being obsessed? It's not only about you being obsessed, it's basically making that culture, making your organization as customer obsessed organization. And according to the same study, if I talk about customer acquisition, 67% of the respondents said that they were likely to recommend a company's product or service to all other known people, all other known organization based on the single interaction. So your interaction is really important there. And 52% said that they would warn off others based on one negative. Really crucial. And I really want to thank enough to SS Gurus group, who has been doing such a great job in sharing their thoughts with the people, helping people with getting a right job, and also helping them attend the interviews in a way that they can be successful. So it's just not possible with one person. It's the support of the community. But I think Shat and Satish, well done guys on it. And I would like to thank you for organizing this summit and running it seamlessly. I have attended so many conferences online during COVID, and I I really understand the challenges behind it, but at the same time, I think you guys rocked. So just to summarize, and I wanted to give you guys 7 tips to become more customer centric. First is provide generous customer service. Second is use a customer journey map to anticipate the needs of the customers. The third one is collect customer feedback on a regular basis, frequent basis, as frequent as every 7 days, every 15 days, if possible. Centralize the customer data and enhance your customer experience with all the new technologies available. You can just do that with AI these days. And make sure that you make a culture in your organization, to make your customer at the heart of the business. And then prioritize customer retention, where I think most of us have not really done a great job, but we should be doing it. So I would like to thank everybody who have been attending this. I think I apologize if you're not able to hear the audios, but I'll share the link. That's one of the greatest ways of showing, how we can think about solving a problem. So thank you, everybody. That was about customer obsession. And if you have any questions, do come back to me.
Thanks, Neelanshi. Now the forum is open for any questions. The feedback is already been rolled out. So request everyone to please fill. If you have any questions, please raise your hand. We will unmute you. You can directly ask any questions with respect to the topic with Neelanshi.
So one of the question, or maybe the ask from the participants is, can you share the YouTube link of the video clip you shared? Because there is a little bit of delay or lag.
Cool. I'll do that. I think you guys have it.
Okay. Still, I believe it's very difficult to deliver a burger in 30 seconds, right? Even after watching that video multiple times.
But I think I love the idea of the way they design in the tennis court and, practice it. So it's like lots and lots of iteration behind it. And from 30 minutes to 30 seconds is a big deal, because I myself, when I was working, with the previous organization, we were solving a problem of employee onboarding, right? It was taking 45 days from screening, from opening a rec to shortlisting one person for a particular role. And we brought it down to 7 days. So from 40 days to 7 days was a big deal, because I know, what was the process behind it, how many things, we do behind the scene, what kind of approvals, we get, and how many times do we have multiple things going on, right? So I think it's very, very good video. You must watch. If you're not able to understand, at first go watch it second time, watch it third time, and then you will be able to explain people what is the benefit of, the speed in the system, and how are, the organizations making a difference in the world.
Thanks, Neelanshi. Any further questions we have for Neelanshi? No? Neelanshi, let me share my screen. It's time to facilitate you with a token of appreciation from SS Agile Group. So let me know once you are able to see. Are you able to see?
It's coming up.
Okay, small token of appreciation from SS Agile Gurus. Sharat, Satish, you want to say something?
Thank you so much, team. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Neelanshi, for ending with a great note. Again, customer obsession, right? This is customer centricity is one of the core topics which every organization is, dreaming and thinking of, and how we can create value to the customer. So that is the order of the day, and thanks for enlightening us more on that space.
Thank you. Thank you for giving me this opportunity, and thanks to the audience for taking out time and listening to me.
That's
Thank
great.
you.
Satish, you want to take over?